Hello, this is Rich Gale here on YouTube, Rich Gen X elsewhere, and it's time to return to Lamplight City. Now, as you know, we left off the last episode. Ah, yes, we have to hang up that.
Thank you, Detective. That's quite decent of you.
Not a problem. So, is there anything else we need to talk to Miss Hambrook about?
I have a few more questions for you, Mrs. Hambrook.
Very well, Detective. If it will help you conclude your investigation faster.
Okay.
Mrs. Hambrook, were you aware that there's a gap in the frame of the small upstairs window?
Is there? I only go up there to check that the window is locked. I've never noticed a gap. Are you suggesting that's how the burglar is entering the store?
Precisely.
Yep.
I believe the burglar is passing a tool through the gap and using it to unlock the window.
Oh, my.
But now that we know the method, we're one step closer to catching him.
And how do you propose to do that?
I'll inform you as soon as I know. I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Okay, so now we know. Let's talk with Bill for a moment. Maybe we can formulate something here.
Got a minute, Bill?
For you, Miles, I've got 5.
Okay.
Any thoughts on Mrs. Hambrook's assistant, Trevor?
Yes, I feel sorry for him.
Why? He seems to enjoy his work.
Nah, it's not that. He's obviously smitten with Mrs. Hambrook, but she won't give him the time of day.
Huh.
You only saw him for a few moments. How in the ether did you get that impression?
The way he looked at her, the way he spoke when he confessed to contacting the police. Shall I go on?
No, that's fine. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Really, Miles? You'd be surprised what you can learn from people if you just look at them.
Why bother doing that when I've got you to do it for me?
So, let's see. Surveillance would be the best thing.
Right. Based on what we've been told in our experiment, I can only conclude that our burglar is using the upstairs window to get into the shop.
Yeah.
So what do you propose we do about it?
It's happened repeatedly over the past 3 weeks, on one of the delivery nights. Since it has yet to occur this week, and today is Friday, logic dictates it should be tonight.
So we settle in and wait to see if the burglar returns? Catch him in the act?
Exactly. It's our best chance of solving this before the trail goes cold.
And I was really looking forward to getting that drink at the Angel tonight, too.
I know, but it's as you said yourself, there'll be plenty of other opportunities. Besides, forbearance is good for the soul.
Spoken like someone who truly has no idea how to have any fun.
I'm sure I'll get the hang of it one of these days, especially with your expert tutelage.
Okay, let's go have a chat with Mrs. Hambrook. I'm sure she'll be delighted to know we're spending the night.
Yeah. Alright, so here we are.
Damn, I forgot to bring my deck of cards again.
At least it's quiet up here. I'm surprised we didn't go deaf after the last time we did this.
What?
I said... Oh, right. Your sense of humor remains on point.
Miles, have you ever considered leaving all this behind?
What, you mean quitting the force?
The force, the city, going off and seeing what else is out there, you know?
I'd miss it too much. Wouldn't you?
I was thinking I might visit Harley out west. She makes it sound like a dream in her letters. Wide open spaces, fresh air. I know I'm a city boy and would probably miss New Britannia's filth and squalor after a week, but...
You should do it. A change of scenery never hurt anyone. Plus, it's much easier for you than it is for me. I've got a family to consider, after all.
Ah, right.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that, Bill. It's just...
Shh. I think I heard something.
Yep, here comes our culprit.
Oh, no!
Bill? Stop! Police!
Damn it! He's got up the fire escape. We can corner him on the roof. Stay close and keep me covered.
His hat. Uh-oh.
Bill!
Stay back, officer. I've got a knife. Ready your pistol, Fordham.
But you're too close!
I trust you, Miles. Your pistol, now!
Alright, we got the pistol.
No need for this, officer. I respect your desire to uphold justice. Mine is more important. If you let me go, I won't come back. We can all forget this has ever happened. Don't listen to this lunatic, Miles. Take your shot before things get worse.
Okay.
Look, caught you red-handed. Put down
Rather
the knife,
reason
let
for
my
it.
partner go, pull yourself up.
No! I'm not going to jail.
Yes, I do. If you cooperate, I'll see if I can judge your sentence.
I appreciate your tactics, Fordham, but this really isn't the time.
Come on, all you've really done is taken some flowers. You're not a killer. Don't make things worse for yourself.
You don't know anything about me. One thing's sure. I'm not going to jail. So let me go free, or else your heart is going off the side. Fordham, this man really can't be reasoned with. Take your shot! Now!
I'm torn. I mean, it's just flowers. I gotta give him that. And he paid for them. He left money to pay for them.
Okay, look the other way just this once. Just let my partner go.
Fordham, are you insane?
Bill, don't! Bill! Oh, God! I am so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry.
Sadly, the death was unavoidable. 3 months later. And yes, I can understand how hard those 3 months have been.
Rough night?
Overdid it on the soporific. Why do I feel like I've had this conversation before?
I'm just glad you're in the mood to converse again. Seriously, you took so much of that snake oil last night, I was starting to think you wanted me quiet for good.
So now we're going to be conversing with the ghost, so to speak. And being someone who has lost someone close to me, I can understand wanting to hear their voice again.
It's no personal slight. I just need some quiet time, or I'll go insane.
I get it. We all need our space. I know it's not easy, but there's really no need.
Not easy. Bill, I've been hearing your voice since you died. You don't shut up unless I take that accursed medicine. I'd say that qualifies as a bit more than not easy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You think I enjoy being trapped here, listening to you whine about how hard your life's become? You at least still have yours.
I'm losing my grip on reality, and it's all because of you.
Believe me, I know. It's not a pretty situation. But the bottom fact is, you're stuck with me. So you can either keep living this way and ruin your life even more than you already have, or you can do as I've told you and try to figure out a way to let me move on.
Yeah.
Right. For the 1000th time, you want me to find the burglar from the flower shop.
Yes, exactly.
I still don't get how that's going to help.
I've told you several times, although to be fair, if you actually listened to me, I'd still be alive. At any rate, you wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if not for him. Once the criminal has been caught and is in custody, we'll both get what we want.
Justice?
More than that, you'll have that elusive thing you always wanted to give others. Closure.
You do realize the trail's pretty much frozen at this point. Our man has seemingly vanished into the ether.
That's no excuse not to keep trying. I know the cases Upton's been giving you these past few months haven't been the most thrilling, but they've at least kept you active. So just keep at it. Something has to turn up eventually. Unless, of course, you want to wind up in Riverview Asylum. And if that happens, I'm really not going to keep quiet.
Fine.
Good man. Now, I suggest you stop talking to thin air, or Adelaide's gonna start wondering if you've gone mental. Or just maybe, she'll stop wondering.
Very funny.
Yep.
I always like that self-portrait of Adelaide's mother, even if the eyes do always follow you around the room. Cozy little winter getaway. That would be a welcome change from the winters in this city. That's a fun little apparatus Adelaide got you. Very soothing.
Watching it spin long enough puts me right to sleep.
I'd say that's really more the soporifics do.
No, I think that's...
Remember before you started taking that medicine and you could actually read a book for more than 10 minutes before falling asleep? You were a lot more fun to talk to back then. Oh, wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So? Addy gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Never mind.
I think that's a delivered take at Gabriel Knight.
Pretty, but I'm glad I don't have a sense of smell anymore. Adelaide's last performance. She could really bring the house down. Don't worry, Miles. I don't watch when you and Adelaide are having your private time.
It would be nice if you didn't spend the whole time humming.
I thought you appreciated some romantic music. Adelaide's mother certainly enjoyed pressing flowers. Do you suppose she does more of it now that she's retired?
Okay. Take a look at the nightstand.
Miles, care to explain what you're doing?
Just checking to make sure everything that needs to be in here still is.
Right. If you start taking that stuff during the day, you're really going to have problems.
That's a fair point.
It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you. That poster brings back some memories. That's from around the time you two met, isn't it?
Yes, back when Addy was singing at the Angel.
Alright. Let's go to the doorway. And there's Addy.
Well, look who's awake. Ready to rejoin the living?
Very much so.
You were talking in your sleep again.
Did I say anything interesting?
Do you ever?
You have to admit, she's got you there.
How are you feeling?
A touch groggy. I think I took a bit too much of the soporific last night.
That's what I thought. When you went for your after-lunch nap, you'd barely gotten breakfast down. I saved you some bread and cheese if you're hungry.
Thank you, but I haven't got much of an appetite.
You really should regulate your doses more carefully, love. I'm sure dull senses and an empty stomach aren't much help to your work. By the way, a message arrived via courier for you this morning. I put it on the table along with today's newspaper.
Thank you, dear.
If there isn't a pair of scissors or a hairbrush in Adelaide's hands, you can bet there'll be a book.
Yeah.
I always liked that painting. It's impossible to see that kind of scenery here in the city.
Yep. There's
You
a
remember how much time Adelaide had to spend convincing you to sit for this? At least these days, with ferrotype tech advancing the way it is, these portraits can be done in just a matter of minutes.
Miles Jr.
I can see why Adelaide calls that plant Miles Jr. It's a spitting image.
Alright,
Your book collection has always astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move. Your book...
Okay.
Adelaide's father certainly had an amazing life. Imagine being the personal barber to the Prime Minister and his family. The gossip and secrets he must have heard. That makes me wonder what old Mrs. Handbrook is up to these days. The Havisham case. Our first time out as partners. First in a long line of successful cases. It's nice to have a memory of the good old days. I'd love to see the look on Snelling's face if he ever found out you kept your old truncheon. Bollingworth Ale. My favorite! And a nice souvenir from the Angel. You really ought to go back there someday. It's been so long since you used that desk. Did you even notice when Adelaide got rid of the chair?
Okay, well, let's see. We've been looking at everything. Oh, model
Building
ships.
those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one.
Alright, let's look at the paper. Remembering the HMS Legia. Tuesday marks the 3-month anniversary of the tragic crash of the HMS Legia. She was preparing to make its second transatlantic voyage when disaster struck. The airship burst into flames shortly after departing from England. Crashing into Foster Park, all 300 passengers aboard, including HRH Prince Harold, were killed, as were 54 bystanders in the park. Royal Maverick Lines conducted an investigation and ruled the crash an accident, citing the ignition of a gas leak. Despite this, rumors of sabotage persist. Royal Maverick vowed to instill stricter safety regulations going forward, and the Ligeria's sister ship, the HMS Lenore, would be extremely safe upon its completion. There has been public outcry and protests that continue. Page 7. Gascon Grand Dame dies. Madame Laura Dupree, age 44, died on Saturday of apparent natural causes. Born Laura Chesterton in London in 1800, she and her family moved to New Britain in 1804. In 1818, she married Colonel Andrew Shepherd, a royal officer, 30 years her senior. The marriage lasted 1 year, ending with Shepherd's death during a trip to Piedmont. Shortly after, Dupree married Benjamin Montgomery, a doctor. Shortly after, they had 2 children, Juliet, born 1820, Andrew 1821. Sadly, Benjamin died of tuberculosis in 1835. Years later, Laura married June Dupree, a banker. Dupree was known throughout the community as a great humanitarian for her policy of exclusively employing humans rather than using automated service machines in her manner. Funeral service to be held. Aethericity. It's real and it's coming, says scientist. Okay, we have a second murder. Police declined to reveal any further details, denied rumors that the murders are still being committed by a serial killer. Okay. Alright, let's see what the message is. Fordham, a big case has come in which I think will interest you. Meet me at the Rowan Coffee House for more details. See Upton.
Upton says she's got a big case for me.
Does she go into any more detail than that?
No, but then you know Upton. Always on a need-to-know basis. Especially since she's been giving me these cases under the table.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been anything of note.
True, but she's still sticking her neck out for me. I can understand why she's so secretive about it.
I think she just misses having you around the station.
Poor Connie. With you quitting and me dying, she must be bored stiff at work.
Anyway, I'm supposed to meet her at the Ruined Coffee House. That can't be right.
It's not like Constance to make mistakes. She must have gotten in somehow.
Guess I'll head over there and see what she's got done.
Okay, so we've added something to our case book. No current case, we have to meet Upton at the Ruined Coffee House. Clues, suspects, documents, the message from Upton. Okay. Alright, and let's see. Well, let's head there.
I'm heading out for now.
Goodbye, dear. Love you.
Love you too.
Yeah. So this is Fordham's residence. Okay, the Ruined Coffee House.
Ruined Coffee House. Worst job in Lamplight City, but there's no better place to overhear all the rumors and gossip in town. Just make sure you don't get too close to the other patrons. Discretion was never your forte. Let's avoid that one. It looks like you might dip over in a little moment. I might have been when I was alive. Good times. But a cheery reminder of everyone's impending death. That whole thing about the man Black Road, complete lie, by the way. Nice seaside landscape. Definitely a stark contrast to the ambiance in here.
Yeah.
Self-portrait as a desperate man by B. Calvert. A bit like in the mirror, isn't it, Miles? He and his friend have quite the conversation. I bet it's really boring. Not very clean up in are they? All that metal and tubing just to serve a hot cup of coffee?
Yep.
The specialty house brews are definitely not coffee. She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee spot.
Yeah.
Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies.
Yeah.
A young woman holding a guitar. Completely the wrong way, I might add. Give me an old-fashioned tea kettle any day.
And what we...
Just one of many patrons contributing to the oppressive hubbub here.
and this guy...
Judging by the sooty apron, this man is either a metal worker, a chimney sweep, or just really lazy when it comes to washing.
Yeah. Okay.
Seems like they have a little something for everyone in here.
Yep. And of course, all this is obviously smoke or something.
Professor Xander Colt Tit III's emulsified soporific, available at all discerning pharmacies. I really don't know why you think taking that rat piss every night is a good idea, Fordham. Simon Banks, professional chimney sweep. Services start at 2 coppers per hour. Inquire at 305 Merrick Lane.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a lovable urchin, but thankfully, your chimney is clean.
I know.
P.D. Preston's patented papier-mâché perambucat. Handsomely upholstered in silk, satin, or velvet, and hand-painted in the most artistic manner, as shown in engraving. I suppose if you and Adelaide ever finally decide to have children, something like this will come in handy.
Alright, let's do
Green's
this.
sulfur soap. Beautifies the complexion and leaves you smelling fresh as a daisy. Talk about false advertising. I couldn't get a date for a week after using that stuff.
Yep.
Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. Absolutely guaranteed to restore vitality, youth, and vigor or your money back. For use by men only. These things seem to have had a spike in popularity recently.
Interesting.
Dr. W.S. Sales Wonder Tonic. The best and safest medicine for both gentlemen and ladies. Prevents consumption, general weakness, feverishness, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, loss of appetite, flatulence, and head pain. They should also mention that it prevents breathing, heartbeats, and being alive.
Okay. There's Upton. So let's find out what she's got for us.
If it isn't my old friend, Upton O'Good.
Hello, Fordham. It's good to see you.
How did you get them to let you in here?
It's rather simple, really. The owner and I have an understanding. He pretends women are allowed in coffee houses, and I don't report his unsavory business practices to Chief Snelling.
Sounds like a good deal. What sort of unsavory business practices are we talking about?
Yes.
Oh, we haven't got time to get into that now. But take some advice. Don't order anything that isn't water.
Ah.
I got your message. What's going on?
It's time for you to join the big boys again, Fordham. Your days of finding lost cats are over.
Yay!
So stop teasing me and tell me what it is already.
Do you know Madame Laura Dupre?
Mm-hmm.
Laura Dupre. She's one of those Gascon Grand Dames, isn't she?
That's right. I'm surprised you've heard of her. I didn't think you cared about those types of people.
I don't, but Adelaide has several of them as clients. She gets paid to pretend to care about their lives, and I get to hear the sort of details.
Madame Dupre died the day before yesterday. Her funeral was held this morning.
Oh
My
my.
condolences.
But halfway through the service, the mourners heard a loud knocking coming from inside her coffin.
She wasn't dead?
Apparently not. Nearly interred alive, although her doctor swears she had no pulse. Dupre's son Andrew was quick to suspect foul play. He accused a man named Albert Martin, and the police arrested him.
So where do I come in? Sounds like the case has already been solved.
I strongly suspect that Martin is innocent, especially considering the talk of him having used black magic on Dupre. The police feel they have enough evidence to convict, so they're not bothering to investigate any further. You're going to look into it and see if I'm right, then find the person who was really behind this.
Ah.
Has Madame Dupre recovered from her ordeal?
I'm afraid not. Apparently she's been catatonic since they pulled her out of the coffin.
How unfortunate.
If you'd like to question Mr. Martin, he's being held at the Bow Street Jail. Or you could take a look around his house. It's at 451 Compton Street in Worcester.
And the Dupre home?
That's at Emmeline and Comtesse, right across from the old Angeline convent. It's also possible you might run into the police during your investigation, since they're technically still on the case.
Thanks for the warning.
All right. So now.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about before you get started?
Let's see. Let me
Yes, actually, I had a couple of questions.
Let's ask these
Let's
questions.
hear them then.
All right.
How are things going with you?
Work is hectic as usual, and I'm spending my day off in here. But considering my home life is still a shambles, maybe this is the best place to be.
I'm truly sorry about that.
Don't be ridiculous. If it hadn't been for you, I'd still be chained to that philandering bastard.
Oh.
It hasn't been easy, but I'm much better off this way. Trust me. Anyway, work gives me something to focus on. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful to you for getting me these case leads. I know you're taking a risk to do it.
It's the least I can do. How about you? How's Adelaide?
She's fine, although things between us could be improved, if I'm being honest. The less said about it right now, the better, I think.
I'm sorry to hear that. You can talk to me about it if you need to, although I'm probably not the best person to ask for relationship advice.
Ask her about...
Don't suppose there have been any developments regarding Bill's murder.
Unfortunately not. The department hasn't exactly been focusing on that case as a priority. The general attitude is that it was an accident. Bill died an honorable death in the line of duty.
Would have been nice if they bothered saying that at the funeral.
And of course there are still those who blame you for his death, Snelling being the first and foremost.
But the man who killed him is still out there.
Yes, I know, but it looks like you're on your own if you want to find him. My hands are tied. I can only ask around so much before the higher-ups get suspicious. Just don't give up. New Britannia may be a big city, but the criminal world is surprisingly close-knit. If you find any connections or leads during your other cases, be sure and let me know. I'll do the same if I find anything out.
See,
Okay.
she has a priority straight. You could learn a lot from Upton.
Alright, since we have nothing
That's
to
it, I
go
think.
over for the
Then you'd better get
investigation.
back to it.
Alright.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to help you find the flower shop burglar, but I suppose freeing an innocent man is a worthy diversion.
Alright, and in our next installment, we will, quote...
Good to see you up and about again.
Oh. He said...
He and his friend are having quite the He's missing his left arm below the elbow. How do you suppose that happened?
Well, right now, we're going to save the game, as we have started a new case. Actually, the first true case of the game. But we could say that until next time. As always, this is Rich Kale here on YouTube, Rich Gen X elsewhere, inviting you to subscribe to the channel, and check out some of the other videos on the channel. I've done a few point-and-click adventures. Just before this, I completed the Dark Side Detective Season 1. And there's some other games up here that you might find interesting to watch a playthrough of. I have the Tomb Raider games up on here. Just recently I've been started working on Tomb Raider Last Revelation. I played the other 3 games prior to that. I am working my way through the Sherlock Holmes games by Frogwares, and I'm doing them, quote, chronologically in the game series' internal storyline. And I'm currently working on what is the 4th one at the time of this recording. Next year it will be when the next game is released, it'll be the 5th game in the series' internal timeline. I am also working my way through Alien vs. Predator. I just not too long ago, got done with Alien Isolation. I've been working my way through the LucasArts library and currently working on the Monkey Island franchise. Currently working on Escape from Monkey Island, the 4th in the series. And once I get done with that, I'll be taking on the Telltale chapter of the series called Tales from Monkey Island. I'm working my way through games with Call of Cthulhu in the name. Currently working on Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the Earth. Very tough and trying game, but I'm enjoying it. And I am also working on... I also do a series of runs through the game of Monstrum. And I invite you all to watch that just to see if I succeed or fail in my endeavors each time I play the game. And subscribe to the channel. You'll hopefully find stuff you'll find enjoyable. Take care all, and have a good one. Bye.